Hi, I'm Scott, also known as Cha-Ching King.
Hi, my name is Sandra, also known as Sandra the Mom Boss.
Hi, my name is Rachel Strickland, and today we're getting into why you should package and weigh your items before you create a listing.
It's going to save you a lot of time, hassle, and money in the long run.
You may be surprised at exactly how much weight shipping materials can add to your overall package size. This very common priority mailbox size weighs 6 ounces and will add that to your packaged weight. 6 or 8 of these air puffs don't even weigh an ounce, but just a handful of packing paper adds 2 ounces to your package. Depending on how fragile the item is, you're gonna need different densities of foam or packing material, and what you use in your packaging absolutely matters. That's why it's important to package your item before you list it.
Each shipping carrier uses a unique calculation to come up with this final cost. And that is where it can get very complicated and confusing for new eBay sellers.
You may think you understand dim weight, but it's actually a pretty complicated process. Each carrier has their own formula. They need to know exactly how much space your package is gonna take up in the truck, taking the volume of the item, that is the height, the width, and often the girth, and they divide that by a particular number. That number can vary greatly from carrier to carrier, and it's a lot to keep up with.
eBay makes it very simple for you. All you have to do is give them the information and they will do the math for you. If you're using eBay's calculated shipping, it is very beneficial for you to add the exact dimensions and weight of your package when you're listing your item. This will help eBay come up with the most accurate prices for you, which can give you a competitive advantage if your shipping price is more accurate versus others who have a higher shipping price because they did not take the time to measure and weigh properly.
The dimensional measurements make a huge difference, not just for you, but also for your buyer. I'm going to show you something like this right here. It's a baseball pennant, and I used to ship these flat. If I ship it like that, this doesn't weigh but just a few ounces. But dimensional weight, it ends up being really, really expensive because the post office is having to ship such a large box. If I roll this, I can get it into a box that's only 12 inches wide and 6 by 6 square. It becomes really, really important when you're packing these things up to know exactly how you're going to ship it and to have those weight and dimensions in there when you create your listing. Sure, you can absolutely just do it at the end and somebody's going to end up paying for the difference. It's really important to do this up front so that not only are you sure how you're going to ship it, but your buyer knows exactly how you're going to ship it.
Inputting the correct dimensions into your listing ensures that if the buyer is paying shipping, they pay the true cost of shipping and you're not left footing the bill.
This is especially true if you're selling items that are large but lightweight. Pillows or tall plushies, or in my case, long knee-high boots. Those type of items can sometimes weigh very little, but since they're large, they take up a lot of room, and that is when shipping carriers will go by the dim weight instead. So it is then when I am especially careful that I'm adding exact dimensions and weight to my eBay listings. And by taking those precautions, I've never had any issues or been charged unexpected fees when an item sells. So to avoid any issues and any cancellations with your international sales, make sure you're inputting those correct measurements.
It's very important in that case that you do enter the height, the weight, the length of your package, because eBay uses those numbers to determine your eligibility for international shipping. As a general rule of thumb, anytime the item measures over the inch mark, I always round up because you can assure that the carrier will measure your package and you could be shocked and surprised with overage charges after your package has already shipped.
To make it easier on myself, I have made taking the dimensions and the weight of my packages part of my picture taking process. I have a couple of boxes near my photo setup. I'll take pictures of my items as usual. What I'll do is add it into a fitting box. I have a small one for average size items, and a bigger box for the larger items like those long boots. I'll put the item inside of this box and then put the box on top of a scale. I'll take a picture of the weight and also make note of the dimensions that are below this box. It is best to take these measurements before you create your listing.
So there are things you can do to make this easier. First, have a few supplies on hand. You need to have your bubble wrap handy, you need to have your tape handy, and you need to have a scale so that you can get an accurate weight. Also, a tape measure so that you can measure exactly if it's not written on the box. And if you're using a box or an envelope, have those ready so that you can pack your item to make sure it fits in the package that you're planning on using. When you do those things, it is going to make your shipping so much more seamless.
You may not be aware, but you can pass those huge shipping discounts that eBay provides sellers onto your buyers. It can really make your listing stand out when your shipping is cheaper than anyone else's.